In this video, we're talking about 20 ultimate learnings from Leonardo da Vinci. We'll understand things and perspectives from his life. This will be a fun video. Let's go. Hello everyone, I'm Prado and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I usually talk about interesting ideas and stories from non-fiction books, the internet and life. And today, we're talking about 20 learnings from Leonardo da Vinci. In the end, the author talks about the learnings and I thought this is something I want to share with my people as well. But yes, I've added my own flavor in it. Pictures, videos, GIFs, etc. So I'm damn sure you'll enjoy this video. Little bit about Leonardo da Vinci. The few most famous paintings in history was created by him. The Last Supper, Mona Lisa, Salvator Mundi, Vitruvian Man, and many more. In his mind, he was just a man of science and engineering. At the age of 30, he applied for a job, and only on the 11th paragraph he shared that he can paint as well. His creativity came from combinations of science, art, technology, and imagination. He was a misfit, left-handed, illegitimate, gay, vegetarian, easily distracted, and always curious. If history's misfits has taught us one thing, it's to think differently. Alright, it's time to get into the 20 learnings. Number 1. Be curious. Relentlessly curious. He wanted to know what causes people to yawn, how they walk on ice, methods for squaring a circle. Remember, this was 500 years ago, before Google became a thing. Art historian Kenneth Clark called him the most relentless curious human in history. One of the weirdly curious questions he asked was, describe the tongue of a woodpecker. Make sure you guys watch the video till the end because I'll be answering this question. Number 2. Seek knowledge for its own sake. Not all knowledge needs to be useful. Sometimes it should be pursued for pure pleasure. Knowing a woodpecker's tongue cannot possibly help him in creating Mona Lisa, but he still wanted to know the answer. His curiosity took him places. He sought knowledge for its own sake. Number 3. Retain a childlike sense of wonder. After an age, we quit asking questions about everyday things. We love blue skies and sunsets, but we don't ask why is it that color. His childlike sense made him ask questions that most don't. Number 4. Observe. Observation was his greatest skill. He used to observe how the dragonfly's winged pairs alternate in motion, how facial expressions of people relate to their emotions, how light bounces off differing surfaces. Observe goose's foot and then wonder why. The more you observe, the more curious you'll be. This is something we all should do. Number 5. Start with details. Do it in steps, starting with each detail. Number 6. See things unseen. Working at theatre performances and plays gave him combinatory curiosity. He could imagine and see birds in flights and also angels, lions roaring and also dragons. He created mechanical props, flying machines to bring angels down. Number 7. Go down rabbit holes. These things were found in his notebooks. 169 attempts to square a circle, 730 findings of the flow of water, 67 different words to describe the moving water. Measure a human body and do the same for a horse. He drilled down for the pure joy of geeking out. Most of my Twitter threads and videos are just me going down rabbit holes and understanding stuff I love the most and sharing it with you guys. So make sure you guys subscribe so that I can share more with you. Number 8. Get distracted. His willingness to pursue whatever subject crossed his eye made his mind richer and filled with more connections. If you often get distracted because you have wide range of interest, congratulations, that is something common between you, me and Leonardo da Vinci. Number 9. Respect facts. Whenever he gets an idea, he experiments it. If the results didn't match with the theory, he abandons them and sorts a new one. Be ready to change your mind based on new info. Be open-minded. Number 10. Procrastinate. While painting the Last Supper, he would stare at the painting for an hour, make one little stroke and then leave. It's alright if you procrastinate. No point on pushing yourself into doing something that you know you won't be satisfied with. Number 11. Let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Steve Jobs held up shipping Macintosh until circuit boards inside looked beautiful, even though no one would ever see them. Did you know Da Vinci carried Mona Lisa till his death, knowing there would always be a new stroke that he could add? Eventually Jobs said, real artists ship, deliver when they are improved. That is a good rule for life. Understand when things are enough. But there are times when it's nice to be like Leonardo and not letting go of something until it's perfect. Number 12. Think visually. This is something I do all the time. Are you ready? Let's go. Imagine there's a TV in front of you. You're watching a documentary of your own life. Here's a question. What would your life look like 5 years from now? Visualize that. Number 13. Mix different knowledge. His notebooks had drawings depicting the dissection of lips. he drew the smile that would reappear in Mona Lisa. He used to combine learnings from different subjects and topics to create something new. Art was a science and science was an art. Number 14, let your reach exceed your grasp. Imagine we both are in 15th century right now. How would you build a human-powered flying machine or divert a river? At that time, knowledge was limited to just people and books. There are some problems we will never solve. Learn why. Number 15, indulge fantasy. His giant crossbow, the turtle-like tanks, the man-powered mechanism to flap a flying machine. Just as Leonardo blurred the lines between science and art, he did so between reality and fantasy. Let your imagination fly high. Number 16, create for yourself and not just for your followers. In 14th century, one of the richest and powerful Marchesa, Isabella d'Este, begged Leonardo to paint her portrait. And he refused. But he did paint a silk merchant's wife named Lisa. He did it because he wanted to. Number 17, collaborate. Have a singular vision, but achieving it takes working with others. Vitruvian Man was produced after sharing ideas and sketches with friends. Innovation is a team sport. Creativity is a collaborative endeavor. Number 18, make lists. Make sure to put odd things on the list. Leonardo's to-do list may have been the greatest testament to pure curiosity the world has ever seen. He had something called to learn list. Every morning he used to wake up and used to write down things he wants to learn. Also, I'll be describing the woodpecker's tongue at the end. Make sure you stick till the end. Number 19, take notes on paper. Even after 500 years, his notebooks inspire us. More than 7,200 pages of his notes and scribbles still survive to this day. Paper turns out to be a super information storage technology. It's still readable after 500 years, which our own tweets likely won't be. The notebooks you write today will be read by your grandkids 50 years down the lane. Number 20, ask questions. My 12-year-old cousin was going away to study. Before he left, I pulled him aside and I said two things to him. Never stop being curious and never stop asking questions. I hope he never stopped asking questions, and I hope you don't too. These are my few favorite learnings from Leonardo da Vinci. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe and like so that more people can enjoy it as well. Before you go, I have a question for you. Let's say there's a time machine which can help you go back in past and meet Leonardo da Vinci. What's the one question you'd like to ask him? I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, so here's the interesting part about the tongue of a woodpecker. And before I share the answer, I really want to emphasize and give credit to Leonardo because these type of answers helps me and inspire me to be more curious. So let me just put on my overhead camera and I'll share what exactly, and let me describe the entire tongue of a woodpecker. Alright, at the end of the book, the author has given an entire page describing the tongue of a woodpecker. Hold on, let me see. There you go. So here's the thing, here's the best part and here's the interesting part. The tongue of woodpecker can extend more than 3 times the length of its bill. And it retracts into the skull and a cartilage-like structure continues past the jaw and wrap around the bird's head. So the best thing is that it's so long that when it digs the trees, the tongue protects the woodpecker's brain. Like we usually don't think about things like this, but Leonardo did, just out of curiosity, pure curiosity. If there's one thing I want you guys to learn from this video, is to never stop being curious. I'll see you guys next week.